Ladies and gentlemen, I call to order the regular city council meeting for the City Council Sierra Vista for 10 November 2022. Mrs. Adams, may we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Rick Mueller,
Present.
Councilmember William Benning,
Present.
Councilmember Gregory Johnson,
Present.
Councilmember Angelica Landry,
Present.
Councilmember Marta Messmer,
Present.
Councilmember Mark Rodriguez,
Present.
Councilmember Carolyn Humphrey.
Present.
Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Mrs. Adams. Tonight we'll start as we usually do with the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight, invocation will be led by Mr. Benning and the Pledge of Allegiance by Mrs. Humphrey. Please rise.
Let's bow our heads. Dear Lord, as you put your hands on us and you put your hands on the city of Sierra Vista, thank you for letting us have an amazing turnout, safe voting yesterday or election day. Bless this decision makers on this dais and the staff that's around us. Guide us in the right direction. And most of all, take care of all the constituents, all the community members. And we thank you, and it's in your Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I'll be quick.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Thank you very much, Ms. Humphrey and Mr. Benning. Now go to item number 1, acceptance of the agenda. Dr. Landry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the agenda for the regular city council meeting of November 10th, 2022 be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any additions, deletions, questions, comments? Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I move to amend the motion on the floor to remove item number 4 for consideration this evening. I've received additional information regarding prior CDL arrangements. This is the first one that we were supposed to be looking at as an IGA. I suggest that we take this, have a work session on it, move it to the December agenda so we can do all the IGAs at once for Cochise County. Let me get the list here.
While you're doing that,
Cochise County, Wilcox United School District, Benson United School District, and Greenlee County. And I would entertain a second.
Well,
I'll
you
second it
have a
so we can
second
discuss.
for discussion. And I got a question for Chuck. Is there a need to do this today, or can we do it with others? I didn't know there were others that were
I'm
due.
sure you can wait. You can choose to remove the item or table it until the next meeting.
But at the next meeting, we will be discussing others? Is that gonna be on the
I don't
agenda?
know if we'll
Well, not the
have them
next-
all
Not
by
the
that
next meeting,
time,
but at the December meeting.
Wait, what do you think, Nathan? Pull it or table it?
Well, the question is, are you gonna have them, the others available for December so we can all do them at once? Because that sounds like that's the desire.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I can't answer that question for sure without talking to staff first, but
Okay,
we've got a month, so.
yeah. Any other discussion or questions on this item?
I was hoping to table it anyway. I had some questions that came up since the work session,
Okay.
so it would give time.
Anybody else? And there's no impact on Patagonia? That's the other question.
I don't think there'll be a major impact. We've only been talking about 10 people a year or whatever
Yeah,
in different
okay.
places, so.
Well, I don't want to leave Patagonia in the lurch if they were expecting something, just like we would be left in the lurch. Okay, so, any further discussion on removing the item from the agenda tonight? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. So item 4 will be removed from tonight's agenda.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr.
you need to vote on the amendment and then on the motion as amended, because you changed the agenda. So you need 2 votes for that.
Okay, now, talk me through this again.
Okay, he moved to amend the agenda to table that item, so you need to vote on the amendment and then vote on the agenda as amended.
Okay, all in favor of the amendment as agenda, or the?
I have a question real quick.
Okay, question.
I can't, I'm sorry. Are we removing the
Colonel
item
Roberts.
or tabling it?
Tabling the item.
Because it's two
The motion
different
was-
things,
The motion
right?
was to table till
To
next,
table.
till next month,
Okay,
okay?
that's my only, I just wanted to clarify it.
So we agreed to table it to next month, and now
Correct.
we have to
Move agenda
Move-
as
Move
to accept the
approve-
agenda as
move to
amended.
accept the agenda as
amended.
approved.
A
Correct.
second.
As amended. Okay, so we got,
So I can move to
So you-
accept the agenda as amended.
okay.
Second.
And we got a second here. Any further discussion on the item? Okay. All those in favor?
Okay, there we go.
Thank you.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Okay, now item number 4 is no longer on the agenda.
Back on track.
Okay.
Sorry to mess things up there.
Well, that's okay. If you give me a little warning ahead of time, I'll be better prepared. City Manager's report, Mr. Patichik.
Thank you, Mayor Mueller, members of the council. A few items today. First, as you're aware, the city offices will be closed tomorrow for Veterans Day, and of course, will be closed both Thanksgiving Day, 2 weeks from now, and the Friday afterwards. Trash service, moved to today for this week, and then we'll move to Monday and Wednesday for the following Thanksgiving week then. With regards to other meetings, we have no council meeting because of Thanksgiving then for the next regularly scheduled meeting, so that'll be the second Thursday in December then, 5 o'clock here. And then there will be a reception honoring Mayor Mueller's service prior to that meeting. Okay, with regards to projects,
Before you go on, canvassing has to be done.
Oh, that's true. We don't, do we have that?
The 17th?
17th at 3.
It's tentatively set for the 17th if we have final results from the Election Services Division over at Cochise County.
Okay, so that'd be the 17th at 3 o'clock, if we have 100% from the
Correct.
county.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Get a week.
okay, Chuck, sorry to interrupt.
No problem. Okay, the St. Vincent de Paul parking lot CDBG project, the final meeting for completion was held today, so that project should be substantially complete. The Good Neighbor Alliance project, we received pricing and we're reviewing that with Good Neighbor Alliance. The prefab restrooms have been ordered for the new restrooms at the sports complex, which we talked about a few meetings ago. And then some good news on the sales tax for September, as I reported at the work session, up 9.91% year over year, and we're 8.8 ahead this fiscal year. So we're well ahead of sales tax projections for this particular fiscal year. And this morning, we had a JPA board meeting, well attended, and of course, staffing is the main issue. We do have a few people in the process and hope to have a couple offers out today, so that was good. We're also working with the college to stand up a dispatch academy, which I think is a very good idea, and hopefully we'll have that underway in January, and we're trying to get 20 slots filled for that as well. So we're working on it, and we're trying a lot of different ideas, but I have high hopes for the academy. So, and that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
I just want to make a comment on our helping the Catholic charity. I went out and looked at the project. The project looks great. In fact, it was the day they were open and they were giving out food, and the parking lot was full. One thing I noticed, and I just mentioned this because I already mentioned it to Matt, and I'll talk to the two ladies that are involved in the other projects. When we do projects, we need to think of a complete project. And when I say that is, the reason I say that is because when I went down and looked at the project, the parking lot itself was excellent. They did a very fine job. However, if you look on Bartow from the corner down to where the drive is, there's sidewalk, and then there's 30 feet of sidewalk adjacent to this project that isn't there. You got a gutter curb, and nothing, and then you got the paved area. So Matt tells me that sidewalk will be done sometime. It's scheduled to be done sometime next year when they look at Bartow itself. But we have other issues like the parking lot over the Sears Center. When you look at North Avenue, you got the road, it goes down into a dirt drainage area up, and then it has the new walking path, which is excellent, along with the parking lot. However, where's the curb? Why didn't we look at a whole project? So when you get a chance to, in the future, when you get a chance to talk to the engineers and the parks folks on their projects, it's worthwhile to take a little time, look at the schematics, and ask the specific questions. Why isn't there a curb there? Why isn't there a sidewalk there? Because we know we have deficits in both of those across the city. Anybody that has eyes can see that. So,
Mr. Mayor, I believe,
mentioned that.
we had limited CDBG funds to spread around this year.
I understand
and
that.
We'll have to pick it up out of the city budget.
But that's
to
what
complete
needs to
those
happen
things.
is when that new project comes in, and I've as I told the Parks Director, the parking lot is about twice as big as we need. So there should have been money to do that, but as we look things, we need to look things as a whole and improve the whole area, not just the one little spot. That's my point. So I'll get off my soapbox. Any other questions for Mr. Patucci? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm happy that project moved forward finally. And also, you said there were bids received on the kitchen at Good Neighbor Alliance? Mm-hmm. And you're going through option, I didn't understand.
Oh, they're
what
just
happened.
evaluating the bids right now.
Okay, so-
Councilmember Andre.
Okay.
So
we
I should have
bids,
news
And okay,
on that soon.
great, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else for Mr. Patucci? Thank you, Mr. Patucci. We'll now go to new business. Item number 2, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the regular meeting council meeting minutes of October 27, 2022 be approved.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Any additions, completions, corrections to the minutes? Any further comments? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. We now go on to item number 3, Mrs. Mesmer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, I move that Resolution 2022-074, funding agreement M22-0039 with the Arizona Department of Emergency and Military Affairs be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Chief Grasher, may we have the staff report, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. The resolution before you is authorization to accept funding from the Arizona Department of Emergency and Military Affairs in the amount of $350,000 to upgrade our VHF radio system. This is money from border-related security funds. The VHF radio system is currently the police department's backup radio system and the fire department's primary radio system. This ability to upgrade this will provide us critical redundancy in case of a critical incident so that we can communicate both with the sheriff's department and with the fire department during critical incidences. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chief. Questions for the chief? And this is pretty routine, and we had an opportunity to ask questions during the work session as well. Seeing no further discussion, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. And item number 4 was tabled, so we'll go to the next item is the call to the public. We have one gentleman that wants to address us today, John Gravel. Sir, if you come over to the microphone. I notice you live on John Wayne Road. That must be a okay street.
Yes, it is.
And he wants to talk to us about traffic safety. The way this works is you've got 5 minutes to address us. We'll kick on the lights. So start off on green and go to red. When they start flashing red, I'll ask you to conclude your remarks.
Oh, I'll be done way before the 5 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Don't want to hold you guys up. All right. Thank you for letting me come up here and speak to you. This is a concern I want to bring up. I know you guys can't deal with the whole entire area here. You're limited to the city itself. Okay. We have an issue with our traffic lights out there, and it's causing a danger to the public. 2 weeks ago, a gentleman was coming down Fry Boulevard on his motorcycle. It was late in the afternoon, sun was setting. Another driver was heading west, got up here to the corner, and they just went. Head-on accident, the gentleman died 3 days later. Halloween night, I was heading out, go to Tombstone, dressed up as a cowboy for Halloween, and right where the McDonald's is. Coming up, light was red, we were cruising up, and in front of us, same thing. You had a driver coming out of the neighborhood that was heading over to the McDonald's. You had another driver leaving that area. Left-hand turn lane, yield on green. Didn't yield. This is a dangerous option we have out there on the streets. You know, people are getting hurt, people are getting killed, you know. And even if people aren't seriously injured, look at the impact it's doing to them. It's, now they don't have a car, can't get to work, can't get their kids to school, can't go to the grocery store. These are all things that are impacting our city here. And it's not just the people themselves, it's also impacting the productivity of businesses where these people work. Now they're out of work. Just a little scenario, you go to Jack in the Box for lunch. The person who's supposed to be running the counter, they got in an accident that night before. Okay, now they're short-staffed. Now you got people standing in line. What are they doing? They're wasting their lunch time because there's not enough people to do the job. So that impacts them. It impacts their company because they go back, hey, I need an extra 5 minutes to eat my lunch. Line was long. So this is just a ripple effect all through the city here. The infrastructure to fix this is all in place. The sensors that are in those designated turn lines where the lights are, they go back to the box over here. These things are electromagnetic fields. Car drives up, it knows there's a car there, it trips the switch. What we need to do is reprogram that box. Make those turn lanes designated and monitored. Green light or green arrow, you turn. Red light, you don't. It's a very simple fix. Cost-wise, pennies. You might have to put an arrow up there, a mask over the light. That's it. And it's very simple to fix. Let me ask you a small hypothetical question. You don't have to answer. You're standing on a street corner, right next to somebody. You look down the road. Here comes a semi, just cruising along, doing the speed limit, no big deal. This person's standing there on their cell phone like this, and they go to step out in front of the semi. Do you take that option, which has no impact on you and doesn't affect you in any way, do you take that option to reach out and grab that person and save his life? That's all I'm asking you to do here. It's a very simple thing. And it's something I would like the city council to bring up with traffic safety, public works. And let's get it fixed. I'll go to the county and I'll deal with their issues out on 92 and 90 and pitch this same request. So if we can do something inside the city limits, let's do it. Let's protect our people. Very simple request. And that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you for coming up. I just want to let you and the general public know that we do occasionally go back and look at intersections and the number of accidents and establish what they call warrants.
Right.
And the warrants is what we use to upgrade the intersections as you're suggesting. And I'm not sure when the last time, I would assume we do it annually, but I'm not sure the last time we did that. We certainly can go back and look at those specific intersections to see if they meet warrants and do the necessary improvements.
Well,
And that's kind of the way the system works. Unfortunately, and you can find this the same way on the state highways, because we deal with the state ADOT all the time on their lights. They have to meet what they say, meet warrants. They have to, unfortunately, have so many people injured or so many people killed, unfortunately, before they will upgrade them. And
Yeah,
we're kind of in the same wicket here at the city.
Yeah, I understand the
Yeah.
process, sir.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just asking, instead of being reactive to this subject, why can't we just be a little proactive?
Understand.
You know, and there should be no reason for somebody to get seriously injured or killed in order for a light to be changed.
I don't disagree with you.
So if we can just have Public Works go ahead and crunch the numbers.
Well, and if they haven't done it, they'll get it done within the next year, and we'll see what we can do. See what we can do to improve the traffic.
I'm
And
a
it's a
motorcycle-
continuous process.
I'm a motorcycle
Mayor.
enthusiast.
Mr. Mayor, we can't have this
Well,
conversation.
that's right.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I
I
understand.
We can't have the back and
The
forth.
back and forth, yeah.
Because you weren't posted as somebody
Right.
to speak.
So, I just want to thank you all.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
One more couple that wants to do a call appropriate. They thought we started at 5 tonight, Mr. Mayor, apologize.
Do we have anyone else that would like to address us with call to the public tonight?
Right, Coronado, just take the traffic issue.
Bob, if you'd come up to the microphone here so we can hear you. And before you leave, I'd ask you to get with Maria, the clerk there, and fill out a form for us. And since you weren't here, you have 5 minutes to address us.
Thank you. I'm sorry we're late.
No problem.
I thought it started at 5.
Yeah.
Thank you. We have come up with a idea for the Garden Canyon Linear Park and Roadrunner Park. And I'll just,
Sir, you need to talk to the microphone so they can hear you at home, because you're being televised.
this is a drawing that we came up with, a design, and it's actually in the zone between Garden Canyon Linear Park and Roadrunner Park. And that drawing represents about 160 feet from back to front and about 132 across. And if you calculate the square footage, that ends up being a little less than a half an acre. And we've divided this community hub into 7 distinct zones, and they're actually listed on this drawing. And we're going to leave 2 copies with the council and one for you, Mr. Mayor. And there are the 7 zones that are referenced on this drawing, and we have an accompanying document here, and it's food for thought on creating this hub. And each of the zones listed on this drawing are cross-referenced in this document. And so if you take a look at it, there's a brief description of each zone that we envision. And there's some pictures in here, so I think in a short time you can review this and get a good idea what we're talking about as far as the hub. And Annex, included in the booklet, is Annex A, and it's a site drawing of the Garden Canyon Linear Park Area C. And we show a proposed location for this hub. And in the back of it is our contact information. We presented this last night to Parks and Recreation and to the commission. And I'd like to I know I probably have 2 minutes left, but I'd like to just explain what promoted this. We went to the public meeting in the parking lot of Garden Canyon when they were requesting input from the community. Being a technical person, as soon as that meeting was over, I went home and I was trying to find an aerial survey. I wanted to see a satellite image of that site. And I discovered the 2008 master plan for the linear park. And I spent 2 or 3 days really poring over that. And I was just in awe what that represents to the city. And when I combined it with the fact that the city had acquired the additional property from the school district, and they were essentially bringing in another large piece of property adjoining 28.8 acres, I believe, to join the park, I was just overwhelmed with the possibility of what that represents. And so I started to realize that that faces St. Andrews, the entrance to both of those parks. It's a wide street, sidewalks on both sides, bicycle lanes, and it's connected to the whole citywide network of bicycle paths and bike lanes. It goes into the county, Corson Equestrian. And I started to think about the concept of a hub. And I looked up the definition of hub, and Webster says it's the center of a wheel with spokes that radiate out to the rim of the wheel. And I started to think that's a perfect place to put in a facility that, in my opinion, reflects what we are as a community. The wonderful idea that the city had to acquire the property to offer that. It's right inside of a major residential area. And we started to think about the diversity within the Garden Canyon. You've got equestrian groups, you've got hiking trails, and so at the University Extension, you've got master gardeners. This is envisioned as a master gardener and water-wise demonstration area.
Sir, your time has expired.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. If you can leave them, just leave them with Maria. She'll make sure we get them. Okay, thank you very much. We next go on to, I'll close it to the call of the public. Okay. Comments and requests of council tonight. We'll start with Mr. Benning.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to try to be brief because we got a great event coming up here tonight. First, I want to put out some information, what's coming up, what's going on. December 1st, 6 to 8, we are going to have the Cochise County Animal Shelter Year-End Review / Celebration. I know Chief Thrasher will be there with me. It is going to be at Event 161 off of Wilcox. December 17th, 07:30, we have Salvation Army breakfast. Ring the bell.
Red Kettle Kickoff.
Red Kettle Kickoff. So, in council, if you haven't signed up to ring the bell, there's still time. And then tonight at 17:30 is the Canyon Vista the Canyon Vista's Veterans Wall of Fame announcement, and I have to congratulate Mr. Mayor Mueller for being nominated, accepted, and being hung on the wall tonight. So if you have a chance to get out there and congratulate him, see him.
It's a plaque though, right?
Yeah, and I'm him. Mayor's like just this big, not him on the wall.
Okay.
Just a flag. And then other than that, I just want to, Election Day, I think it went really well. We had some lines. I want to thank everyone for putting their hats in the ring, from school board on up to senator, and congratulate those that may get reelected. And other than that, Mr. Mayor, have a great weekend. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Benning. Ms. Humphrey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank all our veterans for their bravery and sacrifice, their service, and especially the ones I'm sitting up here with, even if they weren't all in the Army and some other branches. I don't know.
He's talking to you.
And I hope to see you all at the Veterans Day Parade and the ceremony following that at the park. And congratulations to Mayor Mueller for being inducted into the Veterans Wall this evening. And then lastly, I did want to thank the people of Sierra Vista for re-electing me And I wanted to congratulate Councilmember Rodriguez and Councilmember William Benning for being reelected, or elected and reelected as well. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Humphrey. And elections aren't official till the canvass is complete, so.
Right.
Just a point there. Dr. Landry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you to the people that came to the call to the public today. It's I really appreciate you coming out and sharing your concerns and your thoughts and your vision and everything. That was really great. Thank you so much for coming out here. I really love that. And you know, and everybody come out to the Veterans Day Parade tomorrow morning in the park afterwards, the ceremony. It's very, very nice. And, you know, if you're out there celebrating veterans this weekend, just make sure that you're, you know, be careful, have a plan, get home safe. And then with the holidays coming up, holidays are a very festive time. It's not very festive for everybody. You know, some people are experiencing a holiday alone, different things that are going on. So just, you know, maybe reach out to neighbors, friends, invite them in to celebrate with you, or, you know, look out for them, making sure that they are, you know, cared for, that you show that you care for them. And then when you're looking to give, this holiday season, the animal shelter is always will welcome anything that you can give, monetary donations if you want to help in any other things as far as what they need, or even going out there and walking dogs. They definitely appreciate that. So keep them in mind this holiday season. And thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Landry. Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to thank everybody that worked the polls, specifically the poll workers, SV United Methodist Church, that parking lot security, traffic people. That was really clutch for that location. The Shiloh Baptist Church people, the guys in vest taking the drop-off ballots. That was perfect for that location. And then the St. Andrews crew was the guy in the kilt was walking around giving chairs to people that were elderly or handicapped. And St. Andrews offers a lot of seating for people that can't walk very well. So it was interesting how every poll site was different and they offer different things. But what was the same was all the poll workers who did a really good job. And I know a lot of them were volunteers, so I really appreciate their help. Since we're not gonna have another meeting later, I want to wish happy birthday to my twins. My twins, they turned 15 yesterday. And my mom has a birthday on the 20th, and then my fiance Nancy on the 29th. So a lot of November birthdays. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Mrs. Mesmer.
Yes, I'd just like to thank all the veterans and hope they have a great celebration tomorrow, and to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. That's it.
Okay. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. I want to wish the United States Marine Corps its 247th birthday today. November 10th, 1775, it's the only branch of the U.S. military that was started in a bar.
Oh, Tuntown.
And
Have they left?
That explains a lot. Have they left?
And anyway, thank you to all the veterans. Tomorrow is a very festive day for all of us who have served. And the parade is always a fun event, and especially the after event at the park. So, and I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I want to start by thanking everybody for getting out and voting, making sure our democracy remains strong. It's already been mentioned, the Veterans Day Parade starts at 9, runs down Fry Boulevard to the park, and there'll be a 21 gun cannon salute as part of the festivities in the park, as well as some speechifying. Remind everybody again, the council meeting on the 17th at 3 o'clock for the, hopefully we'll be able to make the election official at that point in time. I also want to join Greg in wishing everybody a happy and safe Thanksgiving. We need to remember as we're traveling over these holidays, watch what you're drinking. Don't drive too long. Take some time and be safe on the road, and spend and enjoy your time with family. Is there anything else before the council tonight? Seeing nothing, meeting's adjourned. Thank you.